Tony stuffed food into his mouth as he listened. At the same time, he was jotting down his requests. Before long, they arrived at the first stop. The classical hall was filled with guests. Shirley sat at the center of the stage. Tony stood outside the window, watching him lost in the moment. It was the first time he had changed his perspective. A sense of admiration began to rise within him. At night, in his letter to his wife, Tony mentioned Sydney for the first time.
I saw Dr. Shirley play the piano tonight. He don't play like a colored guy. He plays like Liberace, but better. He's like a genius, I think.
The next day, the two of them arrived at their next stop. While checking out the scene, Tony noticed. There was just a busted piano there, covered in a pile of junk. This isn't what the contract described at all.
Come on, man. These goons can play on anything you put in front of them.
Just like that, Tony gave Shelley what he deserved with a slap across the face. He stood quietly in the corner, watching Shelley in front of him. The journey continued on. On the way, the car broke down. When Shelley got out of the car to get some fresh air, he noticed across the street, in the plantation, a group of black people were working hard. They seemed to notice Shelley's gaze. They all stopped what they were doing. They stared at Shelley across the way. In that moment, Shelley was overwhelmed by a deep sense of loneliness. Even though he shared the same skin color as them, their fates were worlds apart.